Hello, and welcome to Presque Isle Audubon. We may be Erie's oldest environmental organization. Begun in 1956, when a group of birders and conservationists organized bird watching events in the Erie area, especially at Presque Isle. Originally called the Presque Isle Nature Group, one of our early goals was the conservation of Presque Isle State Park. In 1961, we affiliated with the National Audubon Society and then changed our name to the Presque Isle Audubon Society. When you hear the name Presque Isle Audubon, your mind is sure to picture birds and bird watchers. Here's a photo of one of our group's first field trips. But wait, there's more to Presque Isle Audubon. One of our group's early mottos was conservation, a way of life. In fact, one of our earliest documents declares the four goals of Presque Isle Audubon to be conservation, education, research, and fellowship. In 1963, we organized against the spraying of the insecticide dialdrin across the city of Erie to target chafer beetles. These beetles fed on the roots of most grasses. This made them an enemy of lawns. Dialdrin was originally developed in the 1940s as an alternative to DDT, and it was highly effective. But Audubon felt that its exposure to animals, including birds, would be toxic. So we ran an ad in the local newspaper asking Erie residents to collect any dead birds which were found in the sprayed area. These were then sent to a lab for analysis, where it was determined they died from dialdrin poisoning. In 1971, dialdrin was banned from most of the world. In 1968, to protect and conserve land, Presque Isle Audubon bought 2 parcels of land which became sanctuaries for birds and all other wildlife. The Laura Olson Memorial Sanctuary, south of Union City, and part of the Titus Bog, south of Wattsburg. Several years later, we acquired property in Fairview and named it Fernwood. In 1970, we participated in the first Earth Day by sending speakers to local schools. In 1971, we were asked to join with Audubon groups in Western New York as a sponsor for the Allegheny Nature Pilgrimage and have continued to be a sponsor to this day. In 1973, Presque Isle Audubon helped to create the Return Recycling Center in Erie. This was before local municipalities became involved in recycling. The center continued in operation until 1980. Presque Isle Audubon has always sought to educate about conservation and protecting the environment. In 1981, our group, along with the Northwest Pennsylvania Duck Hunters Association, converted the former Red Cross First Aid Building on Presque Isle to a nature center with exhibits and programs. The new center received 15,000 visitors in its first season. It was renamed the Stahl Center in later years to honor Jean and Jim Stahl, 2 local conservationists who were some of the original founders of Presque Isle Audubon. In the late 1980s, Presque Isle Audubon also underwrote the PBS series Nature, so it could be shown on WQLN. And we also underwrote the making of a documentary about Presque Isle, produced by WQLN, called On Shifting Sands. In 2003, Presque Isle Audubon and the Erie County Environmental Coalition organized a lawn care conference to educate homeowners and building managers how to grow a lawn without pesticides and herbicides using native plants. In 2006, we helped organize a forum on wind turbines and energy production. That year, we also participated in the upgrading of Scott Park in Mill Creek by planting native flora and weeding out invasive plants. This effort continued into 2012. In 2007, we presented a program on how to make a difference in a warming world. Also that year, our members participated in the Great Pennsylvania Cleanup by bagging trash at the Roderick Wildlife Preserve in western Erie County. 2008 was a busy year for Presque Isle Audubon. We helped mobilize people against a tires to energy plant proposed for the east side of the city of Erie. Our group's president sponsored a drive to switch from plastic to cloth shopping bags. We participated in Winterfest at Lake Erie Arboretum in Frontier Park, assisting children in making feeders for birds. In 2009, we alerted the community to the unfortunate decision by the state to allow drilling for gas in the Marcellus Shale Formation in the Allegheny National Forest. Over the years, Presque Isle Audubon has given awards to local citizens who have worked on different projects that benefited the environment in this area. Helping to rid Presque Isle State Park of invasive plants, in 2011, our members joined the group Weed Whackers and spent many hours ridding the park of bittersweet and honeysuckle plants. In 2016, Presque Isle Audubon donated money for trail improvements in the city of Erie's newest urban park, MCCLELLAND Park. 2019 saw us joining other local environmental groups in the Global Climate Strike action in downtown Erie. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, Presque Isle Audubon volunteers found a way to purchase and deliver STEM educational materials to local students studying at home. For decades, we supplied Erie area teachers with Audubon Adventures magazines. Audubon Adventures introduces young people, their families, and their teachers to the natural world. So you see, Presque Isle Audubon has been working over 60 years to protect and restore the local environment. Help us to continue our efforts by joining our group. We can be reached through our homepage and our Facebook page. You'll not only learn about birds, but you'll help us to protect and conserve our local environment.